Hi guys, this is your Lord Carlos. On today's video, I'm going to give you my rolling review on Captain America, the first Avenger. So here we go, guys. I really love this movie because if we follow the timeline of the MCU, Captain America is the first one, the first hero of the MCU. One of the founding pillars of hero pillars of the MCU. Obviously, I love the story of Captain Rogers. That it's basically Captain America. The first Avengers is an underdog story that a scrawny kid, first of all, that before becoming Captain Rogers, Captain Rogers was a scrawny nerdy kid that was getting beat up by bullies. But as we know, he turned into an American legendary hero by, first of all, getting himself into or basically falsifying his medical records by trying to get into the army, which at that time in where Captain America was the first Avenger is set during World War II or WW2. I find it kind of funny that we now think that. I find it a little bit more awesome than I think we have taken Captain Rogers for granted in some fan circles, because we believe that technically Iron Man, Tony Stark, started the MCU, but if we follow the real timeline, the real MCU timeline, it's Captain America. So I believe that we have some fan squares / fan circles, we have taken Captain America and Captain Rogers for granted, and in this movie basically opens our eyes that Iron Man did start is one of the founding members of the MCU. But before there was Iron Man, a long time before that, before 2008, there was Captain America, and we got introduced to him in a very extraordinary way. First of all, Rogers was a scrawny kid getting beat up by bullies by a stronger and taller guy, and muscular tone, body tone, and we and we see that that no matter what, if the army says stabs, gives a deny a denies a deny stamped into Captain Rogers' army application. He has that patriotism within him that he wants to fight for the U.S. In this case, during World War II. In this case, Captain America, the first Avenger. We see that it's World War II, and besides Hitler, in Captain America, the first Avenger, we hear the name of Adolf Hitler, but we don't actually see him. We don't actually see him, but we hear his cruel name by name. We don't actually see him, but we see that Hugo Weaving, aka Red Skull, is a very prolific member or figure in Hitler's circle, but Hugo Weaving's character, Red Skull, before he becomes Red Skull, is interested in not only world domination, but he's interested in combining world domination with galactic or universal domination. And what does Red Skull want? The Tesseract, which according to Marvel and according to the MCU, is a very powerful cube of awesome blue light that was brought to the world stage, or the MCU world stage, by Asgard, aka better known as the world or the home world of Thor and his father Odin. And again, so Red Skull wants not only world domination, just like Hitler, but Red Skull is seeing beyond world domination. He sees universal domination. A domination of everything in it, and more in a very epic proportion. And what can give you that? Well, obviously getting your hands on the Tesseract and basically using the Tesseract's power with power and combining it with a weapon of war. In this case, a big laser type gun. And Red Skull is the leader of Hydra, which is a super soldier, German, unclassified German classified group of German super yoked. Yes, I said yoked, like an egg, of super soldiers that follow Red Skull's demented commands and desires. But to do that, Red Skull needs a super soldier serum, which he got by this doctor guy. And guys, forgive me if I don't know quite exactly the name of the doctor, because he has a weird pronunciation of his name. But as you know, the doctor that I'm talking about is played by the great Stanley Tucci. Well, the great Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci's doctor character has this very powerful and potent serum that makes you into a big superhuman. And Stanley Tucci's doctor character sees that Captain Rogers, that Mr. Rogers, or Private Rogers has the compassion and desire to not only beat the holy heck of Hydra, of Red Skull's Hydra forces, but he wants to just do whatever he can. So Stanley Tucci's doctor character sees that desire, that goodness in Private Rogers' heart, and Stanley Tucci's doctor character asks Private Rogers' character, how bad do you want to help us defeat the Nazi slash Hydra. And Private Rogers says, I really do. I have this intense fire in my heart to help my country get rid of these dorks. So Stanley Tucci's character offers Private Rogers or Cadet Rogers the opportunity of a lifetime by entering or basically giving him the ultimate chance to enter a special boot camp where he will be competing with other 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 soldiers for to be selected to be transformed into a super soldier. But Stanley Tucci's character tells Private Rogers that even though another guy might beat you for the job or to become a super soldier, I have already made up my mind. Private Rogers, I already made up my mind. So no matter what happens, you will be selected. I will select you to be the super soldier. So Private Rogers goes to this boot camp where he meets Agent Carter, which is who is a special agent, of the MCU's version of the MI6, and right away, Private Rogers sees that the head general, played by Tommy Lee Jones, wants another candidate to be selected to be this super soldier. But Stanley Tucci's doctor character says to Tommy Lee Jones' general character, no, I won't let you pick another option. There's not a second option. Private Rogers is the only option. But Tommy Lee Jones's general character is like to Stanley Tucci's doctor character. Look at Rogers. He's too skinny. He's too skinny. He's too skinny, and he's small. He's fit. He's skinny, thin, scrawny. I could lift him with one finger if I wanted. Basically, that's what Tommy Lee Jones' character, general character said to Stanley Tucci's doctor character. But along the way, in one of the training scenes of the boot camp, Agent Carter throws a throws a grenade without pulling the pin off, without pulling the grenade grenade pin off, and of course Private Rogers doesn't know that, but doesn't know that Agent Carter hadn't pulled the grenade the grenade pin off, but still Captain Rogers, but still Private Rogers without any hesitation, he covered the grenade with his body, and he told his fellow privateers or fellow cadets to back away. And as many of you guys probably could see that Agent Carter's face light up, like her eyes light up with great pride and happiness that this scrawny kid Rogers was willing to put his whole body on the line and just cover this grenade that she had not pulled the pin off from, and he was willing to sacrifice his body, his own well-being, even though she didn't pull the pin off of this grenade. So that really showed Agent Carter that Private Rogers was the real deal. And Tommy Lee Jones, a general character, when he saw that with Stanley Tucci's doctor character, who developed the super soldier serum, was like gave Tommy Lee Jones general character like a look of I told you so, I'm right. Then after a while, Private Rogers is finally picked from this boot camp group of cadets and privates, or of privates, and he's selected to take on the truth serum, the super soldier serum. And so a couple in a few weeks went by, according to the movie, and Captain Rogers, now he's Private Rogers slash almost Captain Rogers. So Private Rogers is picked up by picked up by Agent Carter, and he's taken to a secret location, into a store, into a nice local New York store that is in disguised as this New York store, but in reality it's a secret. Secret 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 headquarters for Shield, for Shield, which again is like, at this time it's like a secret organization to take down super malevolent people. In this case, Hugo Weaving's character, Red Skull. But at this point, in the movie, we see that Shield is in its growing stage, and we see in this secret hideaway or headquarters that it's not only Peggy, that it's not only Agent Carter working for Shield, but we also see that Stanley Tucci's Doctor character is actually working for Shield, and he has been developing the super soldier serum for Shield in secrecy. And we not only see Stanley Tucci's Doctor character, but we also see Tony Stark's father. Yes, Mr. Stark. Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man's father, working for Shield. He's one of the high-ranking scientists for Shield, and Tony Stark's father, Robert Stark. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't in the name of Tony Stark's father, Iron Man's father's name, but I'm gonna go for it. Robert Stark, who developed the machine that Private Rogers will get in and get transformed into the super soldier. So Private Rogers gets himself set into this machine, and he gets in by laying on his back, and it's a very tight I want to say tight squeeze cylinder where he's laid on his back, and he gets injected with the super soldier serum, and he gets into into Mr. Stark's machine, and at first he's like screaming in because the high levels of the transformation ray are too painful, and Stanley Tucci's character at one point says to Mr. Stark to stop the transformation process. But then Private Roger says, "No, I'm good. I keep going. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good." And eventually the transformation is complete. Now Private Rogers is a super soldier, and one key component that Stanley Tucci's scientist doctor character said to Private Rogers in the boot camp, said, "Whoever takes on the serum, takes on the super soldier solution or serum, his goodwill and goodness amplifies within the host body, or vice versa. If this super soldier serum gets into the wrong hands, Red Skull's hands, his malevolency or evil expands. It grows, and it will keep on growing. But eventually, during this conversation about the effects of the super soldiers here, Stanley Tucci's scientific doctor character says that Red Skull demanded me to give him the super soldier serum, but his body didn't take it well. His body didn't take it well. It burned. He had an accident. So going back to the transformation. At this transformation, going back to Private Rogers' transformation to this super soldier, many generals from the U.S. government were on hand to see this super soldier experiment with their own eyes. But in the room where it happened, there were a lot of media. But one of the reporters was one of the reporters from the New Yorker was actual Hydra spy, and he had a triggering device, that uh, that Stanley Tucci's scientific or doctor character got a glimpse of, and he noticed that it was a triggering device for a bomb. So he told everyone to take cover. But by this time, it was already too late. So the reporter slash Hydra agent he pressed the trigger, and basically chaos ensued. Everybody scrambled to safety. But tragically, Stanley Tucci's doctor character was shot and killed by this rogue reporter, and he died. But before he died, he pointed to Cadet Rogers' big chest and said, without saying a word, "Remember, it's all about the person that is given the serum. You're good, Roger. You are good. So your humility and goodwill and unwillingly will expand and remember, it's within you. Now it's your time. Now it's your time. It's your opportunity that you always wanted." So Cadet Rogers was like ran. He sprinted to capture this rogue reporter slash agent of Hydra. When Cadet Rogers, Private Rogers got to the rogue reporter, he said, "Who are you working for?" But before Private Rogers could get anything out of this rogue reporter, the rogue reporter took a type of cyanide pill or toxic pill to basically be silent, to be silence himself. But before he succumbed to the toxic pill that he took, that he took, that he took, the rogue reporter said, "Hell Hydra." And at this point, could Private Rogers was Private Rogers was like, now what? Now what? And then Agent Carter was like, now you. Agent Carter was like, now you're the doctor that gave you the serum saw something in you, saw something within you that was so good and so filled with kindness and goodwill. Now use that to help us defeat Hydra, and also to keep the Doctor's legacy alive. So now, Cadet Rogers was like, okay, you're right. You're right, Agent Carter. But by this time, Tommy Lee Jones, general character, was talking to the governor of or to the governor, the president of the United States, and of course the president of the United States, the MCU's version of the president of the United States was like to Cadet Rogers is that now I bestow upon you the moniker of Captain America, and we will make good uses of your services, Captain Rogers. But Captain Rogers was like he thought that he would go into action, into battle. But instead of going into battle, he was doing infomercials dressed up as Captain America. He was like being Uncle Sam. I want you to join me in the war. He was becoming a sideshow. But Captain Rogers had a friend. And this friend is named, and I think you know him very well, as Bucky. Captain Rogers had a friend named Bucky Barnes. Bucky was Captain Rogers' protector, or bodyguard when he was getting beat up by bullies. When he was skinny and scrawny. But so Bucky enlisted in the army, and he got accepted to be a part of of a company of a com- of a company, or a a battalion of soldiers that were going to battle, going to the battlefield, and just beat the holy heck of Nazi slash Hydra super soldiers. So by this time, Captain Rogers hadn't heard anything from Bucky. But during one of his recruitment shows backstage. Agent Carter was like, Agent Carter was like, Agent Carter, Agent Carter, Agent Carter was appeared, like she showed up backstage, and Captain Rogers was like, do you know about my friend Bucky Barnes, my friend Bucky's company? And and Agent Carter was like, your friend's company, all the members of his company, including him, are dead. Only one survivor. Only one survivor came back from the battlefield. But Captain Rogers was like, no, there's no way that my friend Bucky is dead. So in an impulsive move, Captain Rogers went up to Tommy Lee Jones' general character, and said, Sir, I want to go to the enemy base where my friend Bucky's company was last reported. Last whereabouts were. And Tommy Lee Jones' character was like, no, Rogers, no, Rogers. You do your job. You have one job. Dress up like an idiot. Dress up like an idiot, and basically perform, and by the end of your performance, we want people to sign up to join the army, and I won't have you ruin my operation. So after this confrontation, Captain Rogers was like to Agent Carter was like, I'm going. Agent Carter, I'm going, and Agent Carter was like, you're crazy. You don't even know where you're going. You don't even know where you're going. You don't even know where you're going. Private Rogers, or Captain Rogers, and Captain Rogers was like, I don't know where I'm going, but I don't care. And so, to make it short and sweet, guys, somehow Captain Rogers convinced Agent Carter to help him out, and Agent Carter was able to get a private plane flown by Mr. Stark, flown by Robert Stark, Tony Stark's father, and Captain Rogers was able to get on the plane and sky parachute down to the headquarters of Hydra, where Bucky's company's last whereabouts were to be at. But before Captain Rogers parachute down, parachute down to the headquarters, Agent Carter was like, stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. If you get in trouble very fast, or if you get stuck / trouble, we will get you out. We will get you out of there as soon as possible. With your friend Bucky's company, or without Bucky's company. And Mr. Stark was like to Agent Carter, while he was flying the plane, maybe after this, Agent Carter, do you want to go out on a date with me, and go out on a date with me, and have some French fries? I believe you said that. Guys, again, correct me if I'm wrong. You could take me on that. But after that, Captain Rogers was like, French fries? Really? Like, French fries? Huh? French fries? And Peggy was like, that. She kind of smirked. She had a funny. She smiled a little bit. So, Captain Rogers free jumped, and landed on the ground, landed on the ground, landed on the ground, and of the headquarters of Hydra, where again, but Bucky's company's last whereabouts were at. And when Captain Rogers got there, he could see that this this headquarters was not only a headquarters, it was a factory. A big and giant Hydra factory. He knew that he had to get out fast without any super soldier henchmen noticing him. So he did what any new super soldier rookie would do. He commandeered, or he got himself into a truck. A truck. And this truck was a delivery truck for Hydra, and this truck entered the factory. But of course, this truck had to be inspected. So by a super soldier, by a Hydra super soldier henchman. So this super soldier henchman was inspecting this truck, and we don't see that this super soldier identifies Captain Rogers being in that truck, but we hear a punching sound. And the next thing we know the next thing we know is that the next thing we see is this super soldier henchman of Hydra flies out of this same truck where Captain Rogers is hidden in. So after punching this Hydra soldier out, Captain Rogers goes into the factory, and he's trying to find Bucky when he sees that this factory of Hydra is not only a factory, it's a prison. It's a prison. So along the way of trying to find Bucky, to locate Bucky, he finds a combination of many battalions, including Bucky's company, and the prisoners are asking Captain Rogers to help them get out of get out of this factory. And Captain Rogers says to this battalion, or to the this mixture of battalions, do you know where I can find Bucky Barnes? And the battalion members are like, who are you? And Captain Rogers says, I'm Captain America. I punched Hitler in the face. So the battalion, or the mixture battalion, was like, wow, let's follow this Captain Rogers / Captain America. We don't even know who this Captain America is, but we want to follow his lead. So Captain Rogers, or Captain America, tells this battalion to split up and find some ammunition, weapons, and find a way out. And he says to this battalion, I will find Bucky by myself. Eventually, Captain Rogers finds Bucky in a room hooked up to basically, Captain Rogers finds Bucky laying on his back on a bed, hooked up to some wires, unconscious, somewhat, and he says to Bucky, "Hey Bucky, it's me, your old friend, Rogers, Rogers." And Bucky's like coming, like he's like delirious, and he wakes up for a little bit, and he says, Rogers, is that you? Is that you? You got bigger. You got bigger. You got bigger. Did you enlist? Did you enlist? And he says, and Captain Rogers says, kind of. So after this brief and funny conversation, Captain America picks up his friend Bucky, and they try to find a way out of the factory. But the way out of the factory wouldn't be easy. And this is the first time that Captain America would meet Red Skull. Would meet the dastardly and evil and malevolent Red Skull. And Red Skull introduces himself. And he takes off human his human mask off, and he says and he says and he says and he says to Captain America, the serum that you have within you, I want it. But when I first got it from the same doctor that you got where you got it from, an accident happened, and it turned me into this. And Bucky was like, I hope you, Rogers, don't. I hope Rogers that the dose that you took from this super serum doesn't turn you into that. So eventually, Bucky and Captain America and the rest of the battalion, or the rest of the mix of battalions, get out of Hydra's Hydra headquarters / super soldier factory, and they blow it up to pieces. But not only that, they come back alive and unhurt and unscathed, but they brought some toys back, brought some weapons back as well. And this is where finally Tommy Lee Jones says, he salutes Captain America and says, by saluting him, he says, you have my respect. And by this time, Agent Carter's and Captain America's relationship has turned into a very, very awkward friendship, awkward working relationship, into a flirty type I like you relationship, but not necessarily fully in love relationship just yet. So after the great celebrations, the great victory, Captain America meets with Tommy Lee Jones' general character, and with others, including Agent Carter and Mr. Stark, and Captain America says that the factory that we blew up, that I blew up with the help of my friend Bucky and this awesome battalion, mix of battalion, is not the only battalion, is not the only factory. Red Skull / Hydra has many other factories that we need to take down / blow up. And Tommy Lee Jones, general character, says, "You got it. Now you and your men are going to be in charge of taking or blowing up factories, and by the end, Red Skull won't have anywhere to hide. So then we see a great awesome montage of action where Captain America is kicking Hydra's face in, and turning Hydra's face into Great American Apple Pie. Great American Apple Pie. Great American Apple Pie, and this is the first time that we see Captain America's iconic shield being used by Captain America, which contains or is built with vibranium, which is a special MCU rare metal that is stronger than regular metal and steel. So during this montage, we see Captain America use his shield a lot by taking down many Hydra henchmen, and we also see Captain America take down Hydra henchmen with his shield. But we also see Bucky and the rest of this mix of battalions help Captain Rogers. Then, in one particular scene, we see that Captain Rogers and the battalion that he acquired with Bucky in tow. We see Red Skull drive up to this specific headquarter of Hydro / Super Soldier Factory, and you see that it's already been blown up to pieces. And he basically says, without saying any words, we can tell by his face that he knows that he's running a short leash or a short rope, and that he knows who did this. Captain America. But then we see that Captain Rogers and Peggy and the rest of the generals of Shield, generals of the government, and Shield members have another meeting and discuss a certain factory that is way up in the French Alps, way up in the French mountains. So, Tommy Lee Jones' general character says, if we blow up this very, very strategic last strategic Hydra factory, Red Skull won't have anywhere else to go. So eventually, Captain Rogers agrees to go on this final and strategic and hopefully final mission, and he asked Bucky and the rest of the battalion to help him. But it wasn't a particular normal asking for help. Spot. They were Captain America and Bucky and the rest of the battalion were celebrating their last victory when all of a sudden Agent Carter appeared in a beautiful very red dress, trying to impress Captain Rogers. And Bucky was like, now I feel like you used to feel, invisible. Cap. And Peggy was like, Agent Carter was like, Captain Rogers, would you like to go out sometime so I can show you how to dance with a girl? And Captain America was like, first of all, very, very surprised and very, very smitten by the way that Agent Carter was dressed as, or just how she looked. And he said, what about tomorrow? Tomorrow after the mission. And Agent Carter was like, of course. Don't be late. Don't be late. And Captain Rogers was like, I won't be late. I won't be late, ma'am. So the final hopefully the final mission was setting place. The mission was Captain America's final mission, and the battalion's final mission was to intercept a train that had on the train Red Skull's associate or right hand scientific doctor. Again, guys, I don't know how to pronounce Red Skull's right hand doctor's associate's name. No, but you know who I'm talking about. And to capture him, and to get some more weapons, and to get some more info or information of Red Skull's plans. But tragically, during the mission, uh, Bucky would fall to his would fall to his would fall to his would fall to his death. Would fall to his death. And the mission was completed. The mission was successful, but the mission was a success, but, and yes, the mission was a success. Red Skull's right hand doctor associate was captured, but the one caveat, or the one thing that, or the one person that was lost in the mission was Bucky. Captain America's best friend. And actually, when Red Skull's right hand doctor was getting interrogated, Tommy Lee Jones' general character was like, you know that your boss and you are responsible for killing, for the death of Captain Rogers' best friend. And I wouldn't want to be you. I wouldn't want to be you if Captain Rogers gets a hand on me. He would, if I were you, I wouldn't, if I was you, I would just run for the hills. Because if I were you, and if Captain Rogers gets his hands on me, he would beat me up, or he would probably murder me. Kill me within an inch of my life. But I can help you out. If you give us what we want. Information of what you and Red Skull, what you were helping Red Skull with. And what's his ultimate plan. And Red Skull's right-hand doctor associate said to Tommy Lee Jones' character, you don't, general character, commanding general character, you don't understand. Red Skull doesn't want to only take over the world. He wants to destroy it and rebuild the world in his image. So Tommy Lee Jones, commanding general character, was like surprised, but not totally surprised by this information. And he said, we can disappear you. We can disappear you without, so that way Red Skull won't kill you. So Tommy Lee Jones, general characters, was like to Red Skull's right-hand doctor associate. Tommy Lee Jones gave Red Skull's right-hand associate doctor traveling papers to the Czech Republic or Yugoslavia. Czechoslovakia, or the Czech Republic. Then we get to the climax of the movie. After getting all the information from Red Skull's associate doctor, Tommy Lee Jones, commanding general character, was like Red Skull's final desperate plan is to drop two atomic bombs on two atomic bombs, one to New York and one to another city. That would destroy the whole city of New York, but including the whole wide world, including the whole world. And we need to stop. We need to stop him. Stop his plan from coming into fruition. But we need all hands on deck. So Captain America, with a heavy heart, he went on this critical and perhaps pivotal mission with a heavy heart, because he had lost his best friend Bucky. And quite frankly, I feel like he had a little bit of revenge soup on his mind for Red Skull. So, to make it short and sweet, guys, eventually, Captain America was able to locate where Red Skull's special plane is located, and he and Agent Carter and Tommy Lee Jones, commanding general character, are pursuing Red Skull's ginormous atomic atomic bomb carrier plane, and and they reach Red Skull's carrier plane, but before but before uh, but before uh, but before jumping onto Red Skull's uh, carrier plane, uh, carrier plane. Agent Carter gives Captain America a kiss of good luck, a kiss of good luck. So, with that being said, Captain America jumps onto Red Skull, onto on on onto 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 sorry uh, onto Red Skull's carrier plane, and he sees that yes, and he sees that indeed this carrier plane carries two bombs, one for New York, and the other one I can't remember, but I know that the main one, or the ultimate one, or the main one was the target for the first bomb was for New York. So after beating a few henchmen that were in this atomic carrier plane, Captain America was able to go into the cockpit of the plane, where you could see that the Tesseract, where you could see that the Tesseract was where the Tesseract was in the cockpit. You could see that the Tesseract was there, and he knew that the Tesseract was a very important. He knew that he needed the Tesseract, and to take it back to recover it and take it back to Shield. But then Red Skull was like, so we meet again, Captain Rogers. Then a whole fight ensued. A whole fight ensued, where eventually Red Skull and Captain America were playing tug of war with the Tesseract until accidentally, or not on purpose, but accidentally, Captain America activated the Tesseract. And when it's activated, I did not know this at the time. The Tesseract is very powerful. So after activating it accidentally, Captain America knew that he had to get out of the carrier alive, or who knows who knows what would the Tesseract do when activated. But luckily, but luckily, in but luckily to Captain Rogers' good fortune, when he activated by accident the Tesseract, Red Skull was holding onto it, and when activated, the Tesseract beams out. There's I would call it a beam. The Tesseract opens a black type hole that would transport Red Skull to another dimension. And that's exactly what happened. Red Skull and his all red face was transported to, or sucked into and transported into another dimension. But that wasn't the end of it. After getting sucked into this dimension, of course, without anyone or anything holding on to it, the Tesseract fell to the ground, and since it fell to the carrier floor, and since it was still hot, it made a hole. It made a self hole, It made a medium-sized hole on the floor of the carrier, and it fell, and the Tesseract fell through the hole, and apparently it fell deep into the Hudson River / Atlantic Ocean. But that wasn't the end of it. Captain America knew that the carrier, without a pilot, would obviously fall. And since Red Skull had activated the atomic bomb for New York that was headed to New York. The only way to stop the atomic bomb from getting to New York was to basically do a very, very dangerous mission. Basically, Captain Rogers did a very heroic thing to stop the atomic bomb from reaching its destination. He had to basically do a sacrifice. He basically he basically became a heroic pilot by by changing the course of by changing the course of of the atomic bomb, but for the other atomic bomb, for the other atomic bomb's target, Captain Rogers had to skillfully and make the ultimate sacrifice. He basically dove the carrier, dove the atomic bomb carrier into the ocean, with him in it. With him in it. But before he did that, he gave one last message to Agent Carter. Save me a dance, Agent Carter. And Agent Carter was like, Will do, Captain Rogers. Don't be late. Be there at 8 o'clock, or at 8 o'clock the next day. And with that, guys, Captain Rogers made the ultimate sacrifice, while back in a bar, all the rest of the battalion that accompanied Captain Rogers and Bucky were celebrating the end of the war, and they paid a wonderful tribute to Captain Rogers, to Captain America / Captain Rogers. But Agent Carter was like still hoping that Captain America was alive out at sea, that he hadn't died. So she opened a search and rescue operation that she commanded, and she had Captain Rogers' file, and with the help of Mr. Stark, she was able to recover the Tesseract, but she wasn't able to recover any sort of anything from. She wasn't able to recover Captain Rogers until many years later, meaning right now, during present day, around 70 years later, we see Captain Rogers wake up and finally wake up from from his unconsciousness or sleeping beauty sleep, and he realizes that he's hearing the radio and that he's fine, like good and still alive. But then he hears the radio, and the radio, and on the radio it's playing a broadcast, the broadcast of a New York Yankees game from 1941. And Captain Rogers realizes that I was there. I was there in 1941. I know the score of this baseball game. And so he wakes up and he demands some answers. And he realizes that he's not in 1941. He's in a different time. So he gets out of his room, and he starts running and seeing that this is not the U.S. this is not where I live, or this is not my time. And he realized that this is not my time, and actually he runs all the way to Times Square, and until when we see a group of vans stop Captain Rogers in his tracks, and the first person that he sees is Nick Fury, and Nick Fury tells Captain Rogers that he had been unconscious and unconscious, that he had been unconscious and frozen for 70 years. Then Captain Rogers says, I'm going to be late. Meaning to the date that he had planned with Agent Carter. With Agent Carter, and like I said, Agent Carter didn't give up hope in searching for Captain Rogers. But eventually she gave up. She lost hope. And guys, that's how Captain America, the first Avenger, ends. So with that, guys, thank you for watching. And let me know, guys, what was your favorite part of the movie, and if you were Agent Carter slash Captain America, what what would you do with, where would you land, the Hydra carrier, to, besides the Atlantic Ocean? Where would you land it? Other than the Atlantic Ocean. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, and let me know your thoughts. Bye.